मेरा नाम है राजेश चौधरी। मैं हूँ फरीदाबाद से। मुझे समस्या आ रही थी गले की। मेरे को खांसी जुकाम हो रही थी और ठीक नहीं हो रहा था। तो मुझे रिलेटिव से पता लगा कि मैरिंगो की हॉस्पिटल में डॉक्टर आनंद गुप्ता जी हैं, उन्हें दिखाओ। तो उन्हें दिखाया। उन्होंने हमारे सिटी स्कैन, MRI, ब्रांचोस्कोपी ये सब कराया। फिर उन्होंने फैसला लिया कि इसका ऑपरेशन होगा। फिर बहुत सोच समझ के उन्होंने फिर ऑपरेशन का डेट दिया। ऑपरेशन करा। तो अभी मैं ऑपरेशन के बाद ही बात कर रहा हूँ। तो समस्या बहुत थी मेरे को, तो वो भी सोच रहे थे क्या करना चाहिए। तो उन्होंने हार्ट वाले को, माइंड वाले को, ईएनट वाले को, सबको साथ में रखा, ऑपरेशन किया। ये बहुत लंबा ऑपरेशन था। और तो मैं जैसे अभी बोल रहा हूँ वैसे बोल नहीं पा रहा था। उन्होंने डेट दी, ऑपरेशन किया। आज के दिन मैं बिल्कुल ठीक हूँ। जो भी स्टाफ, सारे स्टाफ, डॉक्टर बहुत अच्छे हैं। उन्होंने बहुत अच्छे से इलाज किया मेरा। और आपको बिल्कुल एक बार कोई ऐसी समस्या हो तो दिखाना चाहिए मैरिंगो हॉस्पिटल में। धन्यवाद।
I am Dr. Anand Gupta, Senior Consultant and HOD of Department of ENT at Maringo ACF Hospital. I am discussing here with one of the patient who had a difficult airway problem, and the patient had a history of the polytrauma followed by the brain surgeries and followed by the ICU stay for 40 or 45 days. In the ICU, the patient underwent tracheostomy by the ICU people twice, and the patient developed the tracheal stenosis. This tracheal stenosis was at the level of D1 and D2 vertebra, and it was causing severe obstruction in the breathing pathway of the patient. The patient was unable to climb stair. The patient has a difficulty in walking, and patient developed dyspnea commonly on exercise. The patient comes to us, and he had consulted earlier multiple number of hospitals where the CT scan was done. This segment of the tracheal stenosis was uncommon and very placed at the unrealistic location, that the tracheostomy was done very low, and the tracheal stenotic segment was about 2.5 to 3 centimeter, involving tracheal ring 2nd to tracheal ring 7th. So it was a major tracheal stenosis that involved the cervical and thoracic trachea both. So MRI was done and preoperative assessment was done. So we was concluding that we need the CTBS surgeon as well, and I took Dr. Tarun as a CTBS surgeon to open the mid-sternotomy, and tracheal mobilization was done from the larynx by the laryngeal drop, and the thoracic or mediastinal trachea was mobilized by the Dr. Tarun, and sternotomy was done. Trachea was immobilized, and it was carrying forward. The upper trachea was meeting down, and the lower trachea was making up, and the almost 4 centimeter tracheal ring was removed, and we could be able to make the tracheal end-to-end anastomosis, and the patient has tolerated the procedure quite well, although the patient underwent 4-day stay at the ICU where he developed some consolidation and lung collapse, but by the God grace the patient came back eventually, and now the patient is having normal breathing post-surgery, normal voice post-surgery, and he is able to climb stair as well. On the 6th post-operative day, he is able to take normal feed orally. Normal semi-solid and solid food even was allowed to him, and the patient breathing is normal. On the check bronchoscopy, it was found that those luminal blockages which were present in the trachea were 45 to 60%, now had been completely opened up. There was no stenosis in the tracheal segment, and where the stenosis segment was removed and anastomosis was made, it was completely patent. There is no scarring, even no granulations tissue. The patient is going to discharge from the hospital in very good conditions. And now the only one message which I really want to convey, that although the airway surgeries are difficult, but if your motto are correct and the enthusiastic team will run to operate, the surgery will be very successful. Cervical and mediastinal tracheal mobilization is another problem. We had done multiple number of cervical tracheal end-to-end anastomosis and resection. That is different. But here, since the mediastinum trachea was mobilized and there was no traction, almost 4 centimeter was removed, and 4 centimeter tracheal mobilization was done very nicely. So that was no traction over the trachea, and the patient is very fine, and the airway was maintained, and the patient can live a normal, healthy life. Thank you.